Well, I guess I have all my tabs set up the way I wanted to, so I may as well get this started. Hello and welcome to the J.M. Shearer Show, where stupid people speak. And this week, I will admit that I really haven't been following the news the way I should, but then again, I've had a lot of kind of crazy stuff going on here because, well, we got our first big snowstorm of the year. And it was one of those things where kind of a narrow band of snow that came through here. So, we got, less than, maybe 6 or 8 inches in one part of town and more than a foot in another. And it actually, like 17, 18 inches in, a place not very far south of town. So, yeah, and then it like dropped right off just after that, too. So, yeah, so anyway, while I was shoveling snow, so I could get out on, I think it was Friday night when we had the actual storm, or, Friday when we had the actual storm, I was digging out, slipped in the snow, dinged up my backside, and I, fell back, and I think I hit my head too. So yeah, that made for kind of an interesting weekend. I think I'm better now, or at least better enough that I'm actually kind of sort of on time for my own show for once, which is nice. But yeah, I mean that was my weekend. Dealing with that. So dealing with the snow, and here we are on Tuesday, like 3 4 days later, and a lot of the snow's melted because don't know if it's climate change or what the hell is going on here, but things are actually fairly well melted. But anyway, the because I've been dealing with that and Thanksgiving's in a couple of days. The thing I'm actually going to be doing here is talking about things I'm thankful for this year. Uh, and really, in this case, a lot of the things I'm thankful for are mostly the people in my life. Mostly, most importantly, of course, are my parents. And, because in a lot of ways I wouldn't be here without them. And, not just because if they, didn't, fuck, I wouldn't be here, but that's certainly a big part of it. But, one thing I've been, kind of mulling over in my head was, turns out it's actually the, fifth issue of my Final Fantasy VIII text play, which I wrote, back in July of last year now. Kind of hard. It's been kind of hard to believe it's been that long, but yeah, it kind of has. So anyway, but there's a part where I'm discussing or pretty much saying what my thoughts are on the Forest Owl resistance cells plan for going after the president of Galbadia, because it's essentially a shit plan. And my thoughts were that essentially, yeah, I've had lots of shit plans too, but I've had people in my life, friends, and family, mostly my parents, who have been there to talk me out of these things when I start you know it seems like I'm gonna like maybe try and act on one of these shit plans. And I'm thankful that they have been there to do that. But it's one of those things where, for as thankful as I am for that, I am not sure if I've listen to them too often or not often enough. But I do know for sure that I would not be where I am without that. So, I'm thankful for the fact that they've always been trying to do the right thing. And, even if it hasn't necessarily all worked out, uh, and then I've got a lot of other people who are also trying to do the right thing for me, like my cousin who, has me, working at her real estate agency. It's been an interesting job these last few months, and I'm thankful for that. It's one of those things where there's always hiccups and things like this, of course, but it's actually been good for me anyway. Hope things are working out for her too. Hopefully we're getting these whatever screw ups are there. Hoping we're getting that all taken care of, but we'll have to wait and see. We're certainly working on that, and I'm thankful for the opportunity. Um, and then there's, the coworkers I've got at what I've been calling my day job for a long time now. They're certainly an interesting bunch, and I'm glad I've got to meet a lot of them. I mean, now it may not seem like that when we're in the moment and stuff like that, but I'm actually glad I have met them and get to work with them and all of that because they're cool people, even if I don't necessarily show it, when we're face to face and all of that. And, I'm glad we're there, that we're all there together and all of that. And, all that cool stuff. Uh, then, well, I'm sure some of you see my little Facebook messages and, stuff like that when I put up to do the live show because I suspect a lot of you will be watching the recorded version of this later on, but there's also a live version that I do either Tuesday night, like tonight. Between it's either Tuesday night like tonight or Wednesday night. It's been the last few weeks. uh, it's usually between 9:30 and 10 o'clock on p.m. Central Time on either Tuesday or Wednesday night. And I'm going to say I'm thankful for my Facebook friends because there's one of them, uh, who I had a conversation with recently. You'll notice that I've changed this week's message from previous weeks. To kind of clarify that it's a live show on Tuesday nights, usually, which has been my plan for pretty much since the last time I made one, really. But, it's one of those things where I had thought I'd been clear about that, but maybe not so much. So I'd like to thank my Facebook buddy John for, telling me that maybe I wasn't being as clear as I had thought I'd been. So, thanks for that. I do appreciate it. Uh, hopefully it's better now. But, I suspect, there's, a lot of people who will be watching this either, through the uStream recording or the, on the YouTube version, which I will be putting up, in a little while here, after I've, finished the recording, which is going to go on for a little while here still. And then I have to let it sit for a while, because it needs to buffer and encode and, whatever the whatever the technical terms for all of this are. But yeah, and really that's another thing I'm thankful for. Aside from the people in my life, I am thankful that I have the time, money, and technology that allow me to do things like this show or my blog or any of the stuff I do on Facebook and Tumblr and the internet and all of that fun stuff. Even if I really haven't been doing it as much as I'd like or would even need to make something of it. I'm glad I at least have the opportunity, and I'm thankful that I can. So, I'm thankful for that. I really don't know how much of an audience I actually have out there. Uh, it seems like a lot of my uh, blogger posts, because that's where I have the best statistics that I know of, usually wind up with something in the area of 20 hits on average, which I think is cool, and I'm thankful I have even that much of an audience because, well, there's, a crap load of media out there, material for people to look at and watch and read and do all that, cool stuff with, and I'm glad I, am going to be that 15 minutes or that half hour's worth of somebody's day when I, actually manage to get a post out. So I'd like to say how thankful I am for that. Thank you for taking the time to read and watch and listen to, all this crazy stuff I take the time to do. I really do appreciate that. I'm gonna, and for those of you that are going to watch the recorded version of this, I appreciate that, and I'm going to say this. Going to try to get back on my original schedule, which is to be doing this like I was saying a bit ago, Tuesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Central. I would be appreciative and thankful for a live audience because even though I'm not exactly the best at handling a live audience, things do go a little better when I've got one of those. And actually, that's something else I'm thankful for. I am thankful for the times I've had a live audience because it's actually been an interesting thing and an enlightening thing for me to actually have a live audience to interact with, even if I'm not very good at it. And I'm sure having more of an opportunity to do that would help me improve, which is actually something I would very much like and need to do. Improve on all of this because if and when I improve on this, I'm gonna need to move on from where I am at present in life, and if I don't improve upon what I am now, that's not going to happen. Uh, even though it kind of really needs to. Uh, so let's see here. I've talked about the weather, talked about a lot of the things I'm thankful for, uh, because really, what it comes down to is I am thankful for other people in general, even if it may not necessarily seem like it when we're in the moment. I'm thankful for my friends and my family especially because they've done great things for me, and I'm actually really very appreciative of that. Even if I don't necessarily always show it the way I should, but And so, really, I think I've pretty much covered the main things I'm thankful for this year. And really every year actually. But with that said, I'd move on to the story or the story and or author of the week at this point. But because things have been so crazy and messed up, all of that, and and all that lately, I really haven't had much chance to actually sit down and read things for this particular segment properly. Uh, but like I was saying, the last couple of weeks, I do have some stuff from fanfiction.net actually that I've well, it's stuff I've read and worked with before, but well, I think even the most recent stuff was are things I haven't looked at in 10 years minimum, so I'm gonna have to read them again anyway. Hopefully I'll have all that sorted so I can actually do it properly next week. But well, again, have to see how well I get all that sorted out. Because I'm unfortunately not very good at time management, as anyone who really knows me in person can, probably attest. So I mean, per usual, I'm trying to make all of that work, and hopefully I'll be able to before too terribly long. So anyway, I do believe that's going to be my recorded show for the week. So if all goes according to plan, I will be back here next Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Central. Until then, stay safe. Keep in mind all those things you've got to be thankful for. Because there's, especially here in the U.S., there's actually quite a lot of that, even if it doesn't always seem that way. And until, next Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Central, I am J.M. Shearer, and I'm an idiot, so you don't have to be. And I will see you next week. Have a good one, everybody. And if you're one of my family members, I will be seeing you on Thursday for Thanksgiving dinner. Have a good week, everybody. Nighty night.